Fellow Nationalists, I'd like to thank the Brussels branch for bringing forward this motion this afternoon. In the run-up to the forthcoming European election campaign, this provides us with an opportunity to demonstrate once again that we are the only party ready to have a frank and honest discussion with the people of Scotland about the types of policies that we and they want to see coming out of the EU. None of the other parties in Scotland want or are able to have this debate, required as they are to follow the lead set by their London-based leaderships. Now, the European Parliament is one of the most powerful legislators in the world, and the task of Scotland's MEPs is to stand up for Scotland's interests in that Parliament, to make sure that European legislation is fit for purpose in Scotland. Now, only this party, the SNP, can do that. That is the message that we need to get across to the people of Scotland in the run-up to the European elections next June. We cannot underestimate the importance of European legislation to Scotland and to ordinary Scots. The turmoil on the world's financial markets over the past few weeks has demonstrated once again the degree of interdependence that exists between the world's economies. The root cause of that turmoil has been the glaring inadequacies of the regulatory regime that oversees the global financial services sector, and Scotland is a victim of that regulatory failure. And why? Because for 10 years, Gordon Brown has been lecturing Europe about the need for deregulation, and now financial re-regulation is top of the financial agenda. Alongside climate change and concerted action is key. Now, once the dust is settled, there will be a need to reform the regulations governing how the banks and the finance houses ply their trade, and probably a large part, of that regulatory response will come from the EU. The integration of the EU financial markets will make a common EU-wide response a necessity. As those regulatory reforms are being discussed in Brussels and the associated legislation debated, it is vital to this country that our voice is heard and that our collective interests are properly represented. Only the SNP can deliver Scotland's message, because only the SNP has Scotland's interests, and only Scotland's interests as a sole concern. But let's not forget that in a real sense, the future of Europe is also debated and determined day and daily in the corridors of power in Brussels in the form of the legislation that the Council and the Parliament enact. So we need to have an ongoing conversation with Scotland's peoples on those matters. So I ask Conference to back this motion, and in backing this motion, I urge all members to take the voters of Scotland that only a vote for the SNP in next June's elections will ensure that their interests in EU policies will be properly represented. Let's not forget, Conference, that the only way we can have real influence and a real voice in Brussels is with real independence. Thank you.